Hello everyone, welcome to Logical Fallacy. My name is Sean and welcome to another special video. Today we are going to be reacting to something that is going to be quite a journey. Today we're going to be reacting to Oof Troops, the channel, a video that they made called An Undeniably Canon Five Nights at Freddy's Timeline, Part 1. Apparently a Part 2 is coming out pretty soon, which I'm pretty excited about, but this one I wanted to check out with you guys. It is quite long, it's about 30 minutes, but I thought it would be worth it to just watch this out and just have a good time because this is hilarious. So let's get into it. This is undeniably canon. Anything said within this, 100% canon, guys. Scott Cawthon himself has confirmed this. 100%. This is not fan-made. This is actually Scott Cawthon in disguise. And this is really how he wanted the lore to be. All right, let's begin. Yeah, okay, so it's comedic interpretation, but we all know that it's actually Scott Cawthon.
Hey, you look like you're interested in some FNAF lore.
Oh, absolutely
Is it
obsessed.
Speculation? Do you want something that's undeniably canon?
Ooh, give me some of that undeniably canon. That sounds good.
Oh.
No? Oh.
Well, that's too bad. I'm telling you anyway.
Oh my goodness, I love this already. An undeniably canon.
Year was 1983, January to be exact.
Okay,
Local
very
authorities
specific.
William Lee and William Afton were walking down the streets of Hurricane, Utah. And suddenly they noticed that not once in their life have they ever caught a glimpse of a yellow grizzly bear. It was then their fates were sealed, and they knew that they must fulfill their destiny.
Oh wow. You know,
Henry and
that's pretty
William were
accurate.
something of robotics enthusiasts, so they finally used their untapped potential to create the most realistic animatronic bear imaginable. On their first attempt, they made a decrepit yellow bear with giant.
Wow, that seems like a little bit too soon in the timeline for that, but you know what? This is undeniably canon. Anything that contradicts this is completely wrong, false.
Teeth and claws.
Wow.
This wasn't realistic.
He just looks like he's having an existential crisis, like, what am I?
William, however, remembered that in the trunk of his car rested a cluster of discs that could emit audio frequencies that would fool people into seeing real bears.
I mean, that is something that apparently he had.
This animatronic, and suddenly it took the form of the beautiful golden grizzly, who they then named Ferdinand von Bernard.
Oh wow.
Not only did he look the part,
What a beautiful name.
Honey butter, but the mind-altering audio accidentally gave him sentience and cosmic power beyond our human understanding. This one
Someone better watch that bear.
was very dangerous. But the partners in furry shenanigans were not swayed. That is, until the entire town evacuated at the sight of this golden beast.
You got Scott. Then you got Minecraft Steve. What is the? That's just phone guy. Oh my goodness. Is that like Oh my goodness. I don't know who that is.
People are scared of loose bears.
Wow.
Who would have thunk it?
Why does it have a
Of course,
purple
this fear wasn't
hat?
for nothing. Ferdinand was caught dining on a local restaurant owner, and he
Oh.
fled from the crime scene before law enforcement could get to him.
That is
William
unfortunate.
and Henry realized they had been a slight bit overzealous with their first creation. Good thing is, literally,
I love the
nobody was
expressions.
they were, so they got away with this scot-free. Later,
Feels
that
like a
year,
theme.
They designed an animatronic simply based on Ferdinand's likeness.
Oh yeah.
This character was quite a downgrade, being both simpler and stupider. This didn't matter to the duo, though.
Oh, that's such a great comparison, you know.
That Fredbear was born.
Oh,
At first,
nice.
They had nowhere to actually put him, so they opted for the dump. He was truly a diamond in the rough. Amazingly, this attempt at entertainment was amusing enough to the citizens of Hurricane that they gave William and Henry enough money to afford a recently.
What? You're telling me they actually went to the dump to watch a bear dance? Yeah, that's pretty believable. Undeniably canon.
Vacated diner space. Fredbear was going to be a star.
Oh yes.
Fortunately, this animatronic was extremely poorly designed, and their attempts at granting him artificial intelligence quickly turned sour. On
Oh,
February
no.
31st, 1983, his first performance on stage in front of children prompted him to spontaneously combust from a
Oh.
nervous breakdown. William and Henry,
Stage fright. It's quite unfortunate. Not dumb robot
This
plans.
also prompted William to threaten the United States government, and they met his demands to strike February 31st from the calendar forever.
Wait,
After
what happened to the 30th? And the 29th? Oh my goodness, FNAF ruined February. Just like the whole month. I bet the next year they took away the 29th and the 30th. This is ridiculous. Conspiracy confirmed.
They set their sights on making something with no flaws. But then they made Springlock suits.
Oh.
In an attempt to both ease the
They tried to make something that was without flaws, but then they made Springlock suits. Springlock suits are probably like one of the dumbest ideas ever. Like, why would you want to wear a suit? Like, you could just put a out of order sign on the animatronics if they break down. Also, just an easy thing to do to stop people from dying would be just to staple their feet to the stage so they can't get off.
animatronics' nerves and not allow them their legally required breaks, William created mechanisms that could lock the endoskeleton parts to the inner edges of the suit for a person to climb inside and cover for the character.
What a wonderful idea.
For extra safety precautions, they created a partner for the new Fredbear 2.0.
I mean, this is pretty undeniably canon so far.
Reason, the best name they came up with for Fredbear's partner was Spring Bonnie.
Oh,
William
nice.
was insistent on this name, and Henry felt too threatened to argue against it. For the safety precautions ended, however,
it's actually some good art right there.
Holding the endoskeleton pieces away from a person's vital organs were made out of paper clips.
Why is there a bow? Oh, that's... Oh, wow.
Truly brilliant inventors. those
Yes,
two.
quite
The
so.
dynamic duo had now created a dynamic duo. William was the only one who had the nerve to actually test the Springlock suit, and it turned out he enjoyed dancing around as a yellow rabbit a little too much. Henry was unbothered
Yeah, it's probably gonna come up later.
by this, though, as William was still perfectly capable of handling their finances in character. A few months had gone by, and
That's what I call a method actor.
Family Diner was an absolute
Took it a little
success.
bit too far.
Not only were Fredbear and Spring Bonnie beloved by the now enlightened Mormon population of Utah,
Is that a Villagers News reference right there? I love that.
William even managed to
Especially
lock
with the
deal
Steve
with
reference earlier.
Animation studio in order to make a cartoon called
Fredbear and Friends. Hey, recent
One downside,
addition to the
though, was
lore.
The studio needed more characters and they refused any more yellow ones. Out of obligation,
Why?
Leopold, Theodore, Mirabella, and Foxy were created. No, Mirabella's not yellow, she's Xanthophyll.
Why-
We're just seeing
And
things.
a non-yellow
Sure, these
color.
rights to everything William and Henry stood for would never see the light of day in any other context. William and Henry were at
I'm
their
sure
peak,
not.
and William finally regained custody of his children. However, one of his sons,
Nice.
whose name has been stricken from the record,
Oh.
waltzed into the back room of Fredbear.
Yes, he's just the
while
crying
Fredbear was
child.
smoking a cigar. Fredbear's
Or
parents-
Gregory. Oh, controversial take. He's a robot. Oh, wait, no, that's not controversial. It's just a game theory video I watched. Yeah, I don't have any original thoughts on the lore.
nonchalance about his respiratory health was truly traumatizing for the child. In a panic, the child started to run out the door but accidentally tripped over the foot of Spring.
Oh, no.
Unbeknownst to him, the animatronic was being worn by Harold the janitor, and this
Oh.
collision was enough to snap open the flimsy spring locks and impale
Wow.
Harold every which way.
Oh, my goodness.
Soul, heartbroken
That is not
by his
good.
untimely demise and his boss's backup fursuit, transformed into pure agony, and he became a shadow creature.
Oh,
He gave himself
wow.
a really cool name, but unfortunately he never learned how to spell, so it came out like this. Shockingly okay with witnessing
Is that
this,
from the,
child went home and invited
activity
his
book?
brother, Michael, to play a game of Uno with him. However, there was foul play.
Oh,
This
no.
child was actually just a terrible human being and slid
Oh.
extra cards into the deck, causing Michael to draw 8 turns in a row. Enraged, Michael threw on a Foxy mask and started screeching at the child. The child,
Wow,
annoyed by
that's
the
quite
screaming,
aggressive.
decided to humor Mike until he got bored of doing this and pretended to sob 24/7.
Yeah, the crying child isn't a victim, guys. He's just a jerk.
Maybe, just maybe, this would guilt trip him.
Oh, yeah.
However, Michael was far more resilient than the child anticipated, and his behavior kept going for a whole week.
Oh my
The child,
goodness.
craving literally anything else to do with his time, walked into Fredbear's again in an attempt to face his fears before getting cornered by Trevor the cashier wearing
Oh,
a Fredbear suit.
wow.
The child
That's
saw
quite
no threat to
aggressive.
this, as Trevor was holding a gnat for a mediocre dentist's office in his hand.
Lows.
The
Ha.
child deliberately ran into Trevor.
FNAF 6 reference.
Springlocks in his suit. Trevor's
Oh.
spirit, a bit relieved by the matter in all honesty, turned into a more
Yeah, honestly, with that, I mean, it hurts, but, you know, only way to guess to get out of that kind of job.
chill shadow creature that just kind of walked around convincing people to join his conga line. The child was
What?
completely okay with the fact he just killed a man and told his
Yes, the crying child's a murderer. I mean, guys, it actually fits. Look at Gregory. Gregory is the crying child, as we all know. And look how savage he is. He's just like destroying the animatronics in Security Breach. Crying child's a jerk, guys. Don't tell me. This is undeniably canon. Scott Kaufman approved. Steelwool Studio
Next day,
approved as
Michael
well.
and his Uno buddies barged into the child's room to take him to Fredbear's for his birthday. The child was still committing to the crying act, but this was a bad idea, as it just made them come up with the idea of shoving him in Fredbear's mouth.
Oh, wow.
So, that's exactly what they did. They mockingly told the child to give Fredbear a big kiss, which the animatronic took immediate notice of. This was a very dangerous situation for his career, so without thinking, Fredbear clamped down his jaw on the child's skull.
He's like, oh my goodness, I can't be kissed by this child. That's illegal. Better chomp down on him.
This terrified Michael and his friends for about 5 seconds, until the child hopped out of it unscathed. Turns out, William and Henry gave the animatronics rubber teeth. Great
Yeah.
safety feature. The child was living.
Why would they give them metal ones?
Mike didn't really know what this meant, but it sounded scary enough.
Give the drop again.
Fitzgerald II to knock the child unconscious with a chair.
What?
This only distressed Michael more, so he rushed the child to the hospital where he was
Why would they-
diagnosed with a mild concussion. When
Oh
the
my
child
goodness.
woke, he looked at Michael and told him that he never existed. When Michael
Oh.
asked what that was supposed to mean, the child fused with him and turned a little bit paler. This
What?
was just a
White
very bad
boy.
day for Michael. When he went to tell William about it, William had no clue what he meant by little brother. He told
Guys, the crying child never existed. It was all in his head. It's all in Michael's head. Never existed,
him to
guys.
stop making up stories, trash that disrespectful mask, and take up engineering. This sounded good enough for him, so that's what he did. But
Forget about your long lost child,
Fredbear's
brother.
called the police, because Harold and Trevor's bodies were just laying on the floor, and nobody cared to do anything about it until right then. So the restaurant
What?
was shut down.
Wet
and the news
floor?
media blamed it on the bite of '83 in order to abruptly end Fredbear's career.
Wait,
Or
but it
just
wasn't.
this. William and Henry were back to square one. Because of the abundant controversy and investigations, they laid low for a couple of years.
Yeah,
In
probably a good idea.
1995, They finally opened a new location. With the
That's
amount
2
of
years
money
later.
coming from Fredbear's, they were luckily capable of buying out a new restaurant.
Oh,
space.
nice.
Unfortunately,
Remodel the whole
Fredbear's was
pizzeria.
publicly executed 2 years prior.
Oh, wow.
So, William and Henry did the unthinkable. They made animatronics of the cartoon characters they had made out of reluctant necessity.
Wow.
Leopold was their immediate decision for the new mascot, as he was actually a bear. He wasn't golden
Really?
like he would do, but that name didn't exactly resonate with the
Leopold.
After 5 seconds of brainstorming, they renamed him Freddy Fazbear. The initial
I mean,
plan
branding is important, you know.
was for him to be partnered with Spring Bonnie, but William refused to work with any type of grizzly that wasn't golden. So
What's up with purple guy's neck? After its neck's be a little scraggly.
we opted to rebrand Theodore to simply Bonnie, and that worked well enough. However, making these two characters so derivative of their superior counterparts worried Henry.
It's gonna probably.
see through their ruse.
Oh.
So they added another character to the band to distract people.
That's a good
Mirabella.
idea.
Given
Oh,
that
yes,
she had
Marabella.
completely feminine characteristics, though, Henry and William renamed her Chica to make sure any Spanish speakers knew she was a girl. There was one last cartoon character they could use.
Let's go.
Foxy the Pirate. This was a gimmick that the Fredbear and Friends show added to drive up ratings. Henry was fine with the concept, but William hated it.
Oh,
For the
no.
time being, the partners settled on shoving him in the corner of the building, far away from the three they actually
Man, poor Foxy, he was exiled. So sad.
tolerated. After opening the location, however, the two quickly realized that children didn't actually care about the three stage performers. Something about theming being more interesting. As more and more children flocked around Foxy's Pirate Cove, William immediately ran up and kicked the poor animatronic in the kneecaps. This
Sounds like something that Afton would do.
William tore him up after closing to ensure it would stay that way.
Oh my
Somehow
goodness.
this didn't scare anyone away, and everyone just immediately piled back over to watch Freddy sing about bullfighting. Henry and William were truly living the life.
Oh,
They lost
nice.
their beloved
Miss
Queen
you.
Charles, sure, but they were still happy. That is,
That's sad.
one fateful day.
Oh,
Hey, can I borrow $5?
Yeah, sure. Well, not actually this specific day. It was 2 days after this that things fell to pieces.
Oh.
William, after a long day of work, was extremely hungry. You may be wondering why he didn't just eat dinner at Freddy's, but truth be told, he hated the pizza there. They blew all their budget on good
any
food.
worker at Chuck E. Cheese probably does not eat the pizza. I don't know. Maybe if you get it free on your break or whatever, which probably you won't. Like, that pizza isn't really that great.
cloths. So, instead, he opted to drive down to a local rundown Carl's Jr. on that
Oh.
fateful rainy Tuesday night.
Carl Jr.'s.
Hello, I'd like an original Angus burger and a large Coca-Cola.
That'll be $5, please.
This
Oh.
was the moment that William Afton snapped. Where are my $5? In a fit of rage, William sped 1 mile over the speed.
He forgot that he
pulled up at Freddy's to
let him borrow $5.
However, by pure chance, Henry's daughter Charlie was locked out of the building.
I love that. He had a 20 in there. What's the issue?
William, attempting to help her back in, looked at her in the eyes trying to explain his plight. However, with the rage in his heart at that very moment, his mere stare was a death sentence.
That lady, look at that face. That face is terrifying. The child had a heart attack. And there's the security bot.
Over immediately from this. William,
Oh my
panicking over
goodness.
this murder, threw her in the alley next to the restaurant and drove
Panicking over this murder. The lines are just delivered so good. I love it.
off before anyone could see what had happened. After this, the restaurant's security puppet, designed to keep track of the children assigned to it, walked out of the building to find Charlie. When it got to her body, her soul grew an attachment to the character, and she stuck around in hopes a new body would be made so she could fuse with it. You'd expect for this to be the end, but the sudden realization of his true power gave William an idea. With his
Remnant.
death stare, he could quickly and quietly send a horrible message to Henry. He
Oh,
circled back around to
murder
Freddy's
is wrong,
and got
guys.
toward the
Don't
safe
murder.
room that contained the retired Springlock suits. He quickly equipped his spring bodysuit and darted around the restaurant telling kids that their dead dogs were alive in the
The
street.
animation is so good too. I love the
None of them
8-bit
actually
style.
had dogs, but they all assumed that they'd managed to get a free one anyway. Of course, they realized very
Why?
quickly that they were conned. William waltzed into the safe room with 5 total children inside, but before he could do anything, the child named Cassidy kicked him in the shins so hard it knocked the pink out of him. Luckily, he duct taped the spring locks to the edges of his
And
suit
became
so they couldn't
purple.
go off. But he was still made livid by this attempt on his life, so he stared down each one and took them out.
Oh, wow.
William wondered if perhaps he had gone overboard with his evil deeds, but figured that 5 children for $5 was a reasonable trade-off. As a disclaimer to all of you at home,
Murder is bad.
Meanwhile, a drunk man named Dave Miller had just been turned away from juniors and drove home. He was a terrible
Dave
father
Miller.
who insisted on invading his son's privacy for the heinous act of the boy, locking his door.
Oh, wow.
Whose name was Andrew, broke his window.
I'm gonna get in trouble right now. My door's locked, and yeah, it's gonna be bad. I'm gonna go to a restaurant now and killed by an animatronic.
Of the house. Turns out, Trevor the cashier, at this point dubbing himself Shadow Freddy, convinced Andrew to participate in his conga line to Freddy's. Unfortunately, Shadow Freddy's favorite spot to wrap up his conga lines was the safe room, and the two just so happened to come in as William finished
Oh.
stuffing 4 of the children into the animatronic.
That's not good.
William, surprised by his sudden extra child, accidentally gave him the death stare, and now he was left with an extra body to stuff.
And now he's crying
what's more
again?
Inconvenient, there weren't any more characters to pick from. This, however, is when he realized that he
Oh
could
my
just
goodness.
stuff both Cassidy and Andrew into the Fredbear suit.
Oh,
William
wow.
knew nobody actually
That's how it
noticed,
happened,
so he was
guys.
certain it would go completely unnoticed. After this, he left the building like nothing happened and drove home to sleep.
Dude,
in his
Afton is
spring
heartless, man.
Bonnie pajama suit.
Oh my
It
goodness.
was getting to be an obsession.
Glitch
After
trap.
this point, Henry was very obviously devastated. However, he had no idea who actually did it. The cameras were broken, and the only
How could you not, though? Who else would it be?
Mascot costume. Police promptly arrested a man from a completely unrelated pizzeria. Fortunately, Freddy's didn't get shut
Oh
down,
my goodness.
and Henry attempted to keep things going for a while. William had sent him a letter saying he was off on vacation for the time being, so Henry was left to handle finances on his lonesome. But
Yeah.
people rapidly started losing interest at Freddy's. The animatronics looked
How?
horrible.
But how could you? I mean, nobody's lost interest in Chuck E. Cheese, even though all their animatronics are gone, basically.
And everyone finally noticed just how bad the pizza tasted. So, by year's end, the
How do you
restaurant
just
closed.
notice that,
Henry
though?
decided to take a break from it all, and when William returned
Loser
to
loser.
vacation, he realized he could seize this opportunity and make a pizzeria with complete creative control. His
Oh.
daughter, Elizabeth,
This is where it gets dark.
and he proceeded to make an animatronic that looked nothing like her. He named it Circus Baby. Don't
My
ask
name
why,
is
it's
Circus
not
Baby.
elaborated on. However, after telling Elizabeth all about this animatronic, he suddenly got the idea to use Baby for a different purpose than simple entertainment. William had recently noticed the animatronics from the closed Freddy's location acting strange, and upon further investigation,
Why is Bonnie trying to...
he discovered a substance that he called Remnant.
Remnant.
This entailed having Baby and a new set of animatronics themed after her work together in order to collect more Remnant from children.
Oh, wow.
So, he made Funtime Freddy and Bon Bon for easy marketing appeal. Then he finally remade
It is
Fox
true.
in his own vision, stripping all of that filthy pirate gimmick from him and making him a lovely coat of white and pink. Funtime Fox
Nice.
was superior in every way. and
Hey,
his lack of
it does look
originality
better.
meant that nobody would prefer her over the characters William actually wanted people to like.
That's
Finally,
funny.
William made a character named Ballora. This one wasn't made for murder purposes so much as it was made out of contempt. For who? His ex-wife, Eleanor Schmidt.
Oh my
Failed
goodness.
to make an animatronic that was better at ballet than her. She was an accountant, so this was easy. However, upon coming to William's house
But what if she's actually like an amazing dancer and she just like has a dance off with Ballora?
to pick up Elizabeth for a week, Eleanor saw what he was building. Angered by the fact that this character was better at ballet than her, he never once thought about it until right then, she fused with
He
William
replaced her
and
with
rage,
Henry.
And now William was stuck with a robot wife that danced around his workshop every day. But no matter. William secured a
Hey,
building to open this
not the
brand new
worst thing ever.
location of Freddy's named Circus Baby's Pizza World.
Why? Wait, what's the sun for? I mean, I know that was in Security Breach, but that's not in the original. You know what? But no, I can't question it. It's undeniably canon. Also, is she blinking or is she missing an eye? I don't know.
And progress was going smoothly. He had some test runs of the pizzeria and let some groups of people come there early for birthday parties.
Hey.
But this plan quickly turned sour as Elizabeth joined a party and ignored his specific demands not to see Baby.
Oh,
To
that's
William's surprise,
gonna be fun.
Children don't listen to you if you say not to play with something they want. As a result,
Love that
Baby's
exp-
murder
oh.
was activated as soon as 11.
Wow. That's actually kind of terrifying.
Elizabeth was alone with her. William instantly shut down development on the restaurant. He
You like nuked it. Wow. There's the baby right over there.
was very distraught over this, which maybe he should have considered before trying to murder more children. Despite the local
True.
population being completely confused by the sudden turn of events,
Guy who
William
visibly
blamed
blew up his Russian claims it was it was a gas leak, guys. Nothing else. You saw nothing.
leaks and never spoke of it, and instead went back to Henry for them to start work on a new Freddy's location. For a while, they planned on just fixing up the old animatronics from the previous location and scrubbing them
Possibly.
around to fix the odor problem. However, William caught sight of Foxy and formed a new idea in his head out of pure hatred. He told him his idea for the new design philosophy of the animatronics he had in mind. He introduced a newfangled plastic finish, flashy makeup, and to top it all off,
Hey,
William unleashed his new
the toy animatronics.
and dubbed them toy animatronics.
There we
In order to
go.
further justify this decision, he also proposed bringing back the security puppet character as just a normal marionette, and
But
finally created
cooler.
the hero of this
Oh,
universe,
security
Balloon
puppet,
Boy.
but
Getting
oh,
all of that out of the way, William went straight
Balloon
to explaining to
Boy.
Henry why Foxy
obviously the best character. I mean, I have played FNAF 2, and Balloon Boy is one of the most annoying aspects of the entire game.
needed to be white and pink. And with that, the new face of Freddy's was underway. The location opened in 1987 with a lot of good press, and people were flocking to it.
Hey,
Why did they put
wow.
so much trust in this new location? Simple. Henry and William advertised that there would no longer be terrible pizza. This is because they got rid of the kitchen.
Jeremy was here. Ah, nice reference.
This restaurant had no food. You'd think this would be a problem, but kids really like to go there for the characters alone.
Back
And
in
the
Pal.
characters, I mean character. As even despite William's every last effort of making Foxy relevant, the kids now flocked to Toy Foxy's Kids Cove to tear him apart and put
Oh,
him back together.
Mangle.
They thought they
Man,
could make
Mangle's
him
another
look
annoying
without that
character.
whole experience, she looked less like a pirate and more like a metal tumbleweed.
Yeah,
William now
that's
found a new rage
terrifying.
for Foxy's mere existence, and so he enacted a second missing children's incident to cripple the restaurant's success. This
Why?
time,
No more
Henry
murder.
had been paying attention. He saw the camera recordings of Spring Bonnie luring children to the safe room and
Oh my goodness, as I'm stabbing, that's
realized that
brutal.
William was behind this the entire time. He immediately fired William and told him to never show his face again. William realized that this was a big problem. Henry
Yeah.
had let him off easy by not calling the authorities.
Why didn't he?
If else checked anything, he'd be caught for sure. So, after ruffling through old
Where's my
newspapers
loser
about
son?
terrorists,
Wait, local bum and total loser Dave Miller says his kid ran off and has not been seen since. He thinks it would be probably a good idea to have him return home. He doesn't care that much, but it would look bad for him to lose a child. Oh my goodness. How tall is a child? Like 4 feet? Oh,
see
nice.
if he liked any of the parents' names, he stole the name Dave Miller and applied for a job as a night guard at the location.
William
Inside
after
his
Dave
position,
Miller,
he
you know,
activated
super
facial
smart.
recognition scanners they implemented in the animatronics and
Oh,
wiped
that's not
the camera
good.
recordings clean. On top of this, he beat up all of the old animatronics just to put them in their place after seeing Freddy walk around. He even tore off Bonnie's face for
Oh,
not
wow.
being deserving of the mantle he once bore. Bonnie, possessed by little Jeremy Fitzgerald, was merely a prophecy of more face trauma to come for that bloodline.
Oh wow.
After getting done with that,
Yeah, Jeremy's gone through a lot, man.
William could have sworn he saw the puppet floating around whispering to everything it could see. This made him wonder if this was actually Charlie, but he didn't care enough to check, so he left it alone.
How would you even check that, though?
William hadn't bothered actually stuffing them anywhere, so the puppet guided them to select new vessels of their own. Instead of individual characters like it was expecting, though, all of them voluntarily possessed Balloon Boy just because it was mildly amusing. William,
What? Undeniably canon, guys.
presenting as Dave, tried to maintain a job as a day shift guard after this, but was quickly fired for having bad
Rock,
habits.
eat,
Also, he kept going into the parts and service room to kick the old Foxy animatronic in the shins.
Fired.
Now that the night guard position was open, one of Michael Afton's old Uno buddies applied for the job.
Oh my goodness. Phone guy.
Fitzgerald II. He was actually pretty decent at it.
Hey.
It got extremely stressful because Balloon Boy staged a coup against him with the other animatronics.
Oh no.
So, once
That
the
is
week was
not good.
over, he transferred over to the day shift position. Balloon Boy wasn't going to let Jeremy get away free though, and proceeded to publicly attack him and bite out his frontal lobe. Wow.
Oh.
That face trauma prophecy came true quickly. Hey, don't worry, it grew back within a month. But this incident...
That's not how that works.
...was enough to finally get the establishment closed.
Again.
The night after this attack, they needed a guard to make sure Balloon Boy didn't escape. Instead of behaving, though, local menace Fritz Smith tampered with all the animatronics and made them extremely aggressive just because he thought it'd be funny. Company
Yep,
higher-ups
hey, it's a fun game.
and quickly took care of the problem.
Oh.
Thus, 1987.
Dude, Phone Guy is brutal. Who even is Phone Guy? I don't know.
With another location shut down abruptly. Henry scrapped all the toy animatronics after this, except for Toy Freddy and the puppet. Turns out Toy Freddy was already retiring, as he really wanted to become a gamer.
Oh my
His efforts were
goodness.
Successful, and he led a happy life.
Hey,
Meanwhile,
that's good.
Vanished. Henry, spooked by the idea of a
He'll be
second
back.
clown mask coming back to haunt him, started making blueprints for a counterattack if that day ever
Righty,
came. Now,
lefty.
he had his sights set on repairing and reusing the old animatronics for one last attempt at the pizzeria business without William in his way.
Well, you know, it's crazy to think how many attempts there were at opening this restaurant. I mean, for goodness sakes, you'd think that they would stop. They still haven't stopped.
However, this plan was easier said than done. Henry, with all of his financial incompetence, had next to no funds to
No
invest.
free money.
So, he briefly attempted a public fund to try and get money. After a
I
day
will
of
make-
trying, he gave up with exactly $0.
I will make a new pizzeria with 87% less murder. Please help me. Oh my goodness.
Earned. Henry was broke, sure, but he had some powerful resolve. So
Hey.
he decided to steal back the building he and William used in 1985 to recycle for his new pizzeria. Despite this being very much illegal, nobody actually wanted to use the building given its history, so the city decided not to bother Henry when he claimed it back as his. Being a one-man show, Henry had to take his sweet time renovating the place. But
This is FNAF 6?
he managed to open it back up with somewhat new animatronics, and, to his surprise, he was actually moderately successful.
You have
Due to
money.
the dwindling bear population in Utah,
Oh,
there was
wow.
growing demand to see one in person, and the populace reluctantly decided that Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was their best shot at doing so.
Nice.
Unfortunately, the working conditions were very much terrible. The most
Oh.
loyal employee of Fazbear Entertainment, only known by his coworkers as Phone Guy, was assassinated by the animatronics during his final week of working the night shift due to looking suspiciously purple. The good thing is, he had recorded a helpful guide on how to not get assassinated
Hey.
right before getting assassinated. Henry was not
That's
very sure
good.
His casualty of his negligence ruined things for him, though, so he covered up Phone Guy's death, and business went as usual afterward.
That's a bit
William, still
brutal.
being unemployed and bored, decided now was a good time to take revenge on Henry. Again, he realized that he still had an entire stockpile of animatronics he never got to use.
He just still has them in his basement. He's like, hey there, fun time, Freddy. How's it go?
Loopholes, he managed to kickstart Circus Baby's entertainment and rentals. For suspiciously low prices, the average family could have a giant chrome animatronic shipped to their doorstep to throw parties for their children.
Wow.
What could go wrong? Well, Baby's eyes were green. For a moment, William thought he just misremembered her eye color, but then she started talking to him about very personal
Oh.
matters, and he realized Elizabeth...
Yeah,
was
that's not
Instead
good.
of doing anything immediate to solve this problem, he locked her in the rental facility and wrote a note on the fridge to take care of it.
Daughter is dead and possessing Circus Baby. Oh my
Years,
goodness.
Michael Lafton finally graduated engineering school and came back home.
All that time.
By his son's return,
This has happened
it was
quick.
Conveniently useful for his newest plot against Henry. However, he wanted Michael to be fully prepared for what was to come. So, William locked Mike into a crude replica of their house that vaguely resembled the layout of Freddy's. In this
Oh
fake
my
house,
goodness.
William had prepared makeshift animatronics with dangerously high safety hazards to attack Michael, so he could learn how to defend himself against the real deal. After
Wow.
roughly a week of watching Mike handle the process, William noticed something went wrong. Something broke into the fake house. Upon further investigation, he discovered some discarded audio discs lying on the ground. It was Ferdinand von Bernard.
What?
Having wandered the wilds of
No
nature
way! He's back!
He returned to Hurricane to wreak havoc on his creators.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
He targeted William's favorite, only son, using his unaltered form. But Mike was resilient, and he managed to avoid Ferdinand long enough
Wow.
that he got bored, reapplied his audio discs, and finally wandered away. Given
That's
the
crazy.
planned attack on Michael, William
Ferdinand's back, guys.
and gaslit Mike into believing it was all just a nightmare before changing the subject to getting a job. To
Hey,
ensure that Henry wouldn't
do you want to work in my
attack
dark,
his
deep
first job,
facility?
William told Mike that he should apply using his mother's maiden name rather than Afton. That way he doesn't draw attention to himself for being
Yeah.
related to everyone's favorite former manager, of course. Mike Schmidt worked for a whole week at this place. The animatronics tried to assassinate him due to his good looks, or so he assumed. After working an extra night and being applauded by Henry, he was then instructed by William to sabotage the animatronics using his new engineering skills.
Why?
Why do I need to disable their AI? It builds character. And Henry still owes me $5. Michael wasn't buying this.
Oh my
so he decided
goodness.
to do the exact opposite and crank them all up to the maximum setting to challenge himself for the end of his week. But
Hey.
due to the animatronic scent rubbing off on him, Henry fired him for body odor and inadvertently caused a personal grudge. Before leaving, Mike snuck into the back and disabled all of the animatronic systems to spite Henry. Now that the animatronics
Like father, like son.
caring about Freddy's again. Henry's profits plummeted.
Oh,
and he was
man.
ultimately forced to shut the place down.
Not
in
again.
1993. After hearing this,
1993.
William was ecstatic. He began marketing the Circus Baby rental service even harder and proceeded to begin his final plan. William had needed Freddy's closed for more reasons than just spite. The Fun Times Remnant collection was not working as frequently as he hoped, and if he wanted to understand the substance at all, he needed more of it quickly. So
Yes.
he made sure he had free reign to tear apart the animatronics to harvest their remnant and leave. After sneaking into the now abandoned Freddy's,
Ah,
he
yes,
started
here it
planning
is.
since the animatronics were programmed.
How to get remnant from
Then
corpse
he remembered
robots.
Michael had completely deactivated them, and they would only move if the souls possessing them were motivated enough to. Luckily,
Yes.
Shadow Freddy suddenly appeared, and William
Oh.
bribed him to start a conga line leading into the safe room so he could dismantle all the animatronics.
Oh my
His
goodness.
plan worked flawlessly. In the animatronics' weakened state,
This is hilarious. I love this so
William
much.
teared them apart using nothing but his bare hands.
Wow.
Unfortunately for him, some of the remnant spilled and formed into the visible spirits of the missing children.
Well, that's
Terrified
not
that he
good.
might be able to kick him in the shins, he ran to his trusty spring Bonnie suit and put it back on for the first time since 1986.
We're still on
Feeling
FNAF
empowered
2.
Despite this accomplishing nothing,
Or-
William began
yeah.
to laugh at the ghosts. But in his self-indulgent celebration, he failed to realize that the duct tape
Oh.
holding back the spring locks had fallen off, and the leaky ceiling proceeded to snap them shut.
Yikes.
Finding his inconvenience hilarious, faded away for the time being so they could gossip about him elsewhere. While normally being impaled like this would result in immediate death, the spring lock failures these suits cause are painful enough to consistently cause so much agony that life is maintained in some way. While Harold the janitor got the
That's
short end of the
actually
stick, being a
canonical.
miserable shadow creature, William was now one with his beloved rabbit suit. Realizing he wasn't gonna properly die anytime soon, William Afton came up with a new name for his new form. He called himself Springtrap. And with that, we end this chapter. of
Oh,
the Dark.
nice. That's awesome.
Wait, but what about the rest of it? I'm drawing it out. For suspense. And this is a lot to cover, but pretend it's only for suspense. But what about Ferdinand von... Don't worry about him. I'm sure he won't do anything crazy before this is all done.
I'm
All
sure
right, goodbye
not.
for now.
Did he just disappear? Oh. Look at him. We're all in suspense, guys. Oh. Ferdinand. No, don't do it. Oh, that's great. Wow, that was awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and that was awesome. I love that. By the way, undeniably canon. Listen to the title, because everything the title says is true. This is a Freddy's timeline, part 1. If you guys want to see part 2, which I definitely probably will do it whenever it comes out, please let me know in the comments below. And also, please subscribe and comment below and like this video. You guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.